Hey everybody, happy 2019. I hope you can hear me. I hope these new headphones are working. It's been a while. It's been like a month since my last live stream, which is really weird for me, but over the holidays my uncle actually passed away and I decided just to take a few weeks just to spend with my family, which was really nice. We did a lot of emotional healing. But now let's get back into it. It's 2019. In the next couple weeks, hopefully next week, but I'm going to be realistic with the baby. I wasn't able to finish my new website over the holidays. So that is my goal to do by Sunday. It might not happen. Just being realistic and gentle with myself, but I do want to get it done and launch a new coaching package that I'm going to be offering, a couple actually. That should be coming out hopefully soon. And today we're going to be talking about meditation. Everybody seems to be really resistant to getting on board with the meditation. It's normally because it's hard to create new habits. It's very challenging. So we're going to talk all about meditation today, and then I'm going to answer the questions that you posted in the group. So I'm Sandy. I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and whole body healing coach. Anything you hear today is for educational purposes only. Please talk to your doctor before making any changes to your diet, medication, supplements, etc. Okay, so meditation. This is what meditation isn't. So you're sitting in a room, you've got your eyes closed, it's a dark room, you're relaxed, and you finally feel like you were able to clear your mind. And then your spouse decides to start coughing or sneezing, and you snap out of it. You're like, would you just be quiet? You ruined my Zen. Now it's all messed up. All that time was wasted. That's not meditation. Okay, if you're able to go and sit in the room and be interrupted and remain calm, that would be a meditation. Now, meditation is all about becoming conscious, becoming aware, becoming present, becoming the observer. That is what meditation is about. It needs to be free from any of those negative emotions if you get interrupted. And you want to be focusing more on, if there is any emotion, it's going to be love and joy. That is where we want to go, because that is the essence of consciousness. So meditation, there are many types. Quick Google search, types of meditation is going to bring up things like Vipassana. It's going to bring up mantras. It's going to bring up chakra meditation. There are so many different forms, and I encourage everyone to do the Google search, to look into it, to read about the different forms and really see which one resonates with you, and try a lot of them, see what you like. So meditation, I find that the hardest part about it, what people struggle with, is one, creating the new habit. So if you believe that meditation is going and sitting in a quiet room and clearing your mind, that requires you creating a new habit to do it every day so that you're consistent with it. And the reason why we want to do these meditations is so that when things happen in our daily life, I'll tell you about that in a second. So when things happen in our daily life, we have a go-to. We are able to go to this tool to calm us down, to lighten our mood, to make us happier, to make us more joyful. But in order for it to work, it needs to be in place as a habit. It needs to be something we go to naturally. So that whole situation where we feel like we need to sit in a room and spend 15 to 20 minutes working on it isn't always going to be the best way to meditate. And it isn't the only way to meditate. And the other reason why people have trouble with meditation is because they feel like they need to just have no thought. And as soon as the thoughts come, they feel like they're failing. And we don't like to fail, so we just don't do it. Now, we're going to talk about both of those things. If you want to have a meditation practice where you go sit in a room, great. So go look up all those, guided meditations, mantra meditations, and you can definitely do that. For me, I have a little baby, and it doesn't work. I haven't done that type of meditation for a long time. I like to incorporate meditation into my everyday life. So I meditate probably 5 to 10 times every day, but they're short little meditations that I do in the present moment. One of my favorite ones to do is when Kaden is sleeping on me, I just fill myself with the love and joy that I have for him. So it's really easy because I have him right there creating the love and joy. If you don't have a little baby to cuddle or a pet to snuggle, you can think of a memory where you felt intense love and joy, whether it's for someone, an animal, a child, a spouse, or a situation that made you really, really happy. For me, like swimming with dolphins or riding on the beach, riding a horse in the ocean was one of my big moments. So that fills me with excitement and love and joy. And you feel in your body, where is that sensation located? And so it's all about just closing your eyes, becoming present. Where's the love and joy located? For me, it's in my solar plexus. It's really easy. I get butterflies, and you want to just close your eyes and pull that feeling down into your abdomen, into your leg, into your foot, then into your other leg, into your arms, up into your head. And what I do when Caden's on me is then I push that feeling into his solar plexus, fill his body with love and joy, and push out my aura. So expand my aura and his aura. So it's like an egg-shaped ball of energy around you. And I like to really visualize that expanding out into encompass the entire room. Now, that is something you can do anytime that it comes up. And you might have to set an alarm on your phone for 1 o'clock to just do a quick visualization like that. You could be at work. Nobody's going to know you're doing it. You can even do it with your eyes open. The more practice you have, you'll easily be able to do it with your eyes open. I just did it now while I was explaining to you. Like, I felt the feelings and I pushed it and I visualized my aura going out. So it's a really simple one that you can do anytime. Now, another one that I like to do, which is a little bit harder to do at work or in public, is a deep Om. So it's just the sound Om. So we're becoming the observer of our breath. So we're breathing in, big deep breath in, and letting it out as an Om as long as you can, and then repeat it. And you can do this for a minute. You can do it for 5 minutes. This is a great one if all of a sudden you're at home and you're feeling really anxious, just to recenter, become present, focus on your breath, and interrupt that negative thought pattern that you've created. Because if you're used to going to worst case scenario, if you're used to going to anxiety, if you're used to being depressed and thinking, pretty negative thoughts, then when you become the observer of your thoughts and notice those thoughts are coming in and that's your pattern, you need to put things like this in place to interrupt them. And in the beginning, your negative thoughts, they're going to happen all the time. And I really encourage people to get a pad of paper, and every time a negative thought comes in, just write a tick mark. And you'll see that the majority of your day is going to be filled with negative thoughts or worried thoughts or depressed thoughts or sad thoughts, or you might be judging people or might be judging yourself. So all these thoughts are going to be coming in, and we want to become the observer of them. And in that scenario, we're actually meditating throughout the day because we are becoming conscious and aware of our thoughts. Really, meditation itself is either going to be being aware of your thoughts, being aware of the sensations in your body, or being aware of your surroundings. Now, if you want to just sit and become aware, that is a great meditation practice. So you just close your eyes and scan your body. Start at your foot and feel what your foot feels like without emotion. So if you have pain in your foot, you're not going to be like, oh, it sucks. I'm in pain. I'm always in pain every day. My life sucks. Like, those thoughts need to go. And I'm going to worst case scenario thoughts, but we want to just feel the sensation. No thought. And when the thought comes back in, recenter yourself on your foot, and then your calf, and then your knee, and then your hip, and do the other leg, and then your entire abdomen, your arms, your face. Feel every muscle. You can even, a great meditation is to just focus on your toe. You can squeeze your toe, relax your toe. Then squeeze the other toe, relax your toes. Squeeze your foot, relax your foot. So this is how easy it is to incorporate meditation into your daily life. Another great one is to, when there's something that's annoying you, sit, close your eyes, just observe the emotion that's coming. Where is it coming from? Why is it happening? Is this something from your past? Why are you irritated? And then try to stay present enough to allow those thoughts to leave and allow the annoyance to pass through you. Now, I'm really great with, for the most part, with sounds. I still work on Eric's chewing his banana. I don't know why anybody needs to chew something that is soft. So that is something that I work on and meditate every time he chews a banana, because it's like, the banana's soft. You don't need to chew it like that. But I work on it, right? So it's noticing, becoming conscious of these emotions and what triggers us, being conscious of our pain body, being conscious of our ego. And that's another great way to meditate, is when you're having an argument with somebody or somebody says something to you that triggers you, whether it makes you sad, it makes you angry, it makes you depressed, it makes you really defensive. That's your pain body being triggered. There's some ego going on there. I really recommend reading Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth to learn about these topics and asking yourself why. Like, instead of just reacting immediately to that emotion, to that trigger, ask yourself, why did I just get triggered? And you might have to look back into your past. You may have to dig deep into something, but it's recognizing, okay, that just triggered me, and let's pick a response that gives us the best outcome. It's all about event plus response equals outcome. We always get to choose our response, and that meditation, that becoming conscious, that becoming the observer is being able to take that step back for a second before immediately responding. So that is a type of meditation. Another really good one is a hug. It's a perfect time to meditate, especially if the person in your life is game for doing it too. So you do a heart hug. You put your hearts together. I'm pretty sure it's left ear to left ear. It's been quite a while since my Canfield journey and my heart hugging. So you hug, and you would feel that sensation of love and joy. Normally when you hug somebody, it's because you care about them. And so you feel that love and joy that you feel for them. You spread it throughout your entire body, and you synchronize your breath. So you're becoming conscious and aware and the observer of your breath and that love and joy and that feeling. You're becoming present. So those are some quick tips for meditating that you can do anytime throughout the day. Incorporate it into your daily life. If you want to still have that time on top of these little tips to go and sit in a quiet room, that's great. Do that too. But it doesn't have to be that structured. You just need to get it in. You just need to start to become present. Now, and then the other thing is, if you find you can't do it, that's okay. People don't learn to play a symphony overnight. Like, this takes practice. So set the intention of doing it. If you start to become present on your breath, and all of a sudden that anxiety thought comes back in, or what you have to do today comes back in, like your to-do list starts playing, or what happened in that argument starts playing, that's okay. It's normal. You just let it go, refocus, recenter, let go of the anger, or I can't do this, I feel like failure. Let go of that. Just try again and practice, practice, practice. Practice makes not really perfect, because I've been meditating. My mom taught me when I was 7, and there's some days when I sit down to meditate and I get like 30 seconds and it's just not happening. I've got too much on my list of things to do, and all I have to do is persevere. And if, in 5 minutes I might spend 30 seconds being present and the rest are just constantly recentering myself, that's okay too. Just getting it in, get it done. So hopefully you guys find that helpful. I am going to go over your questions now. Caden's such a cutie. Okay, so Lauren says, how do you hold your meditation longer? So I'm pretty sure we just covered that. Most people, you're not going to get a minute or 2 minutes of no thought. It's not really going to happen, and that's not our goal. It's just to set the intention and to learn to become present. And I find meditation more so is so we become present more often in our day. If you go and do your meditation practice and you're like, yes, I practice yoga and meditation, and then you're yelling and screaming at everybody the rest of the day, it's not really clicking in. Like, we want to become present more often throughout the day than just one chunk of longer periods. And that's where it's going to bring the peace and the love and the joy and the gratitude into our life. And when we do that, it shifts our vibration. That vibration plays a big impact on our body's ability to heal, and it also plays a big impact on our ability to attract things that are all good into our life. Sandy says, I don't know how you get things done with that cute smile. Well, definitely is a challenge for sure. And Caden is available to hug to anybody who wants to hug, as long as you're perfectly healthy. No sick hugs. So Sarah says, if I seem to react to histamine, what else can I take to heal the gut other than bone broth and glutamine? So healing the gut is all about removing the things that are doing the damage. So your anxiety thoughts, your depressed thoughts, that creates such a huge burden on the gut, because the brain is going to rob the gut of amino acids to create its neurotransmitters. Whenever you're under stress, your neurotransmitter demand goes up, 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 and your body is going to pull it from wherever it can. And the gut is the most plentiful source of amino acids. So it's going to create leaky gut. It's why some people, they have a death in the family and they develop a very big illness. Or they lose their job, or they're having really big emotional stresses with money or their relationships, and that's enough to cause leaky gut and to cause a really big illness to happen. So it doesn't just stress the gut, it stresses the entire body. It's basically putting yourself into a flight or fight response constantly, and that requires a ton of resources. So if you want to remove that, you want to remove the emotional stress, you want to remove the parasites, protozoa, bacteria, you want to remove anything systemically putting stress on the body, you want to remove the toxins. So you're leading as healthy of a lifestyle as possible with your diet. Don't go and live in a bubble, because that creates its own problems, but reduce your toxin load and then work on your liver detox pathways. That's really important to healing the gut, and removing heavy metals. So that is what you want to focus on. You can take as much glutamine as you want, and yes, you're putting in an amino acid that does help with mucosal membranes, but is not going to fix the underlying problems. Bone broth is notoriously big for feeding SIBO and for causing histamine reactions. So if you can't do it, then actually for my clients, I recommend not doing the bone broth or the colostrum until SIBO is ruled out, or even most probiotics. So glutamine, normally people have a problem with glutamine if they have an issue with their GAD enzyme in their brain. It's the enzyme that turns glutamine into GABA instead of glutamic acid, which is very stimulating and can build up in the brain and cause a lot of issues if that enzyme can't break it down. So if you're having a problem with glutamine, it indicates an issue with your enzyme function. So you want to work on cofactors, and sometimes the cofactors aren't enough to fix the enzyme dysfunction. We need to get rid of all of the underlying stresses so that the body can reset itself. I wouldn't blame the hair loss on Candida. I'm not big on blaming anything on Candida. Candida is part of the normal flora. It's only going to overgrow if the immune system is stressed. So work on removing what is stressing the immune system and work on rebuilding the body. Hair loss, most likely imbalance in minerals, toxin overload, thyroid issues, sex hormone issues, that kind of thing. Safe way to remove heavy metals. I like to use just specific binders, Zeobind, TRS. I don't add them in until I know that phase 1, 2, and 3 liver pathways are working properly. I will sometimes add in a binder for certain other things, but it's not for metals. But that is very case by case oriented. It really depends on what is going on if I'm going to add in a binder before I do a lot of work on the liver. Supporting the liver, you can check out my liver detox course. That is a really big loaded question. You want to do support phase 1, which is when your body, it's all the enzymes that break down and get those toxins ready for phase 2, which is methylation and sulfation, glucuronidation, amino acid conjugation. All those things need to be supported. You want to run proper testing, see what's going on with your methylation cycle. And then phase 3 is getting the toxins out. So bile, kidneys, skin, that all needs to be supported so that when your liver is detoxifying, they're actually leaving your body and not just building up in fat cells or causing more damage to the body. Kim says, how does molybdenum help with liver detox, and how does it help with iron metabolism and sulfur? So molybdenum is a cofactor for what we know of 4 specific enzymes that require molybdenum to work. And one of them is your body is an enzyme that turns sulfite, which is very toxic, into sulfate, which is detoxifying. It's actually used, it's its own little sulfation pathway to detoxify. So if you don't have enough molybdenum and your enzyme isn't working, you're going to get a buildup of sulfite. Now, there are other cofactors required for those enzymes to function, like B6, magnesium, zinc, that kind of stuff. Now, with iron, another enzyme that molybdenum plays a part in is the xanthine oxidase, which turns ferritin into usable iron. So it helps the body free it up. Molybdenum can also form compounds with different metals like copper and iron that prevent it from being absorbed. So you don't want to be taking iron with molybdenum or copper. Copper and iron are one of those ones you want to take on their own, and you want to test, make sure you need iron and copper before you actually take it, because you can become, most people are copper toxic, the majority of people right now, just because of how high levels are in our diet and our water. So you do some tests. The amount of molybdenum that you take depends on what you want to do. A low dose of molybdenum is going to help support that sulfoxidation pathway, and a higher dose is going to turn it off and allow it to heal. So it is a little bit complex, but it is definitely a very cool micronutrient. If you do have issues taking molybdenum, it indicates you probably have an issue with sulfur or iron pathways in your body. It does a few other things. You can actually just Google molybdenum and the enzymes that it works on. There's 4 of them. One we don't quite understand very well. So it's all learning. We're learning more. So castor oil packs are definitely a gentle form to help support phase 3 detoxification. You're going to want to take a piece of flannel, coat it in castor oil, put it on the skin, and put the heating pad over. And thank you for your lovely comments about my little man. I totally agree. He's super precious. I can stare at him all day. Sarah says, would borax suppositories be safe? Yes, they're definitely safe. I have used them in the past when I used to get reoccurring fun stuff down there. They're not recommended during pregnancy. So if you're pregnant, don't use them. You don't want to be sticking anything up there if you're pregnant. But definitely vaginal suppositories, they're very safe and gentle. If you do find you're getting irritation, stop and switch to something else. Liz says good probiotics are very expensive. So what I would like to ask is it worth taking them while you're trying to heal your leaky gut, or is it best to wait till after it's healed? So I include SIBO safe probiotics into every pathogen protocol that I do. I don't add them in right away, but once the pathogen killing begins, then yes, I do put them in. I'm a big fan of Megaspore, S. boulardii, Jarrow's Ideal Bowel Support. I really like any of the Megaspore products are really good. Just make sure some of them will feed SIBO, the prebiotics. You want to make sure you've dealt with that first. And SIBO, remember, parasites, protozoa, bacteria in the large intestine, and then SIBO. And when you're working on bacteria in the large intestine, you will knock the SIBO down a little bit, and then you can do a specific SIBO protocol. All right, so I think that is all the questions, unless there are questions here. I have no idea how to see the comments. on my computer. And if you're wondering what happened with my lighting, well, I've never done a live stream during the day. I'm not really a morning person. But my lovely friend Meg is watching Kaden for me right now. And then I'm going to head to the dentist right now, which I'm not excited about. Thank you, Mindset Work. Otherwise, I never would go to the dentist. I didn't go for a long time. That's for another live stream. But I didn't realize that how, and it's better now, but when I first turned on the camera, there was a big glare right here. Like, oh crap, that's harder to do than what it looks. So there's a big glare over there, and I put a towel with a duct tape because I don't have any pins into the window, and it didn't last as long as I would have liked. But that's okay. The sun has now moved from that window, and it's not as bad with the lighting. So if you guys have any further questions, feel free to send me an email, info@motivatedtoheal.com. If you're interested in coaching, go to www.motivatedtoheal.com. The new website should be out. That old website is so outdated, and I'm really excited for the new website to come out and to launch the new coaching packages. If you want to get in on them ahead of time before the launch of the website, book a free health assessment. You can find that under Work With Me on my website if you're interested in coaching. So have a great day. Bye.